Okay, this is 5.2 homework, day 2. It says a vehicle traveled at 54 kilometers per 3 hours. Find the distance traveled. Well, we know that we're going 54 kilometers per 1 hour, and we're converting it to 3 hours. So, what do we have to do to 1 to make it a 3? Well, we times it by 3. We would have to times this one also by 3, and you get 162 kilometers in 3 hours. Pigeon can fly at a speed of 84 kilometers per hour. How long does it take for the pigeon to fly 7 kilometers? So this is where labeling helps out a lot. 84 kilometers per 1 hour. That's the rate that it's traveling. Equals how long does it take the pigeon to fly 7 kilometers? Well, what do you have to do to this 84 to make it a 7? Well, 7 goes into 84 12 times. So we would have to divide 1 hour by 12, and you get 1/12 of an hour. Now, if you were asked how long or how many minutes, you would take 60 and you would divide it by 12 and you would say 5 minutes. So either of these answers are acceptable. Karen walks from school at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour. She takes 12 minutes to reach home. What is the distance between her school and her home? 5 kilometers takes her 12 minutes. And it says, what is the distance? So we don't know how far this is. In minutes. Okay, I messed that up completely. So it's 5 kilometers, not in 12 minutes, but in 1 hour. Equals how many kilometers in 12 minutes? This is where this little convert times to minutes and hours helps you out. This should be 5 kilometers, and we know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So what do you have to do to that 60 to make it 12 minutes? Well, 60 divided by 5 is 12. So we would have to divide this by 5, and we get 1. So 1 kilometer away. Okay, so I know that I just skipped back to slide number 5, but I wanted to show you how a dirt pyramid would work on this one. If you're looking over here where my mouse is scrolling around and around in the circle, you should draw your eyes there, which is a good thing. The rate is 54 kilometers per 1 hour. The time is 3 hours. So we would multiply 54 times 3 hours, and we get a total distance of 162 kilometers. I wanted you guys to see that because it works both ways. It works out nicely for this problem, and it actually helps us on some of the other ones too. Okay, so Kayla ran from her home to a beach at a speed of 6 meters per second. The distance from her home and her beach was 756 meters. How long did it take her to run from her home to the beach? So we're really looking for a time here, and that's why I set up our dirt pyramid right away. The distance is 756. The rate that we are traveling is 6 meters per second. So we're looking for the time. Well, we have to divide this number. That's why we have these division signs here. 756 divided by 6 will give you the time. So 756 divided by 6 is going to come out to be 126 seconds, or 2 minutes, 6 seconds. I'm going to write them both down just so that you guys, if you got to this part and you didn't convert it to minutes and seconds, I'm fine with it. Okay, Kayla must take 18 fewer seconds to reach the beach. At what speed must she run? Well, we're going to go back. We know that she has 126 seconds, but she wants to get there in fewer. So we subtract 18 from it. We get 108 seconds. Now, I took our dirt pyramid from the other part, and then I just basically cut and paste it. But we now know that we're going 756 meters, and we want to do it in 108 seconds. So if we look at our dirt pyramid, 756 divided by 8 is what we're looking for to find our rate. And 756 divided by 108 is nice. It actually comes out to an even number. It comes out to 7. So the rate that this person must travel is 7 meters per second. Oops. Okay. Post A and Post B are 120 meters apart. Post B and Post C are 300 meters apart. Ben cycled from Post A to Post B in 15 seconds. Then he cycled from Post B to Post C in 55 seconds. Find Ben's average speed for the distance from Post A to Post B, or Post C. What they're really saying here is you got to take your total meters, so that's 120 plus 300. That's going to give you 420 meters. And you got to put that over the amount of time that it took to travel the whole distance. So it's 15 and 55. That's going to give you 70 seconds. Now, basically you need to reduce from there. So how many times does 70 go into 420? Well, we really don't care because we know that we can slash these zeros out, divide them both by 10. Now, how many times does 7 go into 420? Well, it makes it a lot easier. He's traveling at 6 meters per second. Again, to find the average speed, you have to take the total distance traveled divided by the amount of time, the total amount of time that it took. Okay. I don't like the way that looks, but how much I can do about it. So, it says the table below shows the court fees for a tennis court. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is going to cost $3.50 per hour, but then after 5 it costs $7 per hour. Shanice and her friends reserve the tennis courts from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. What are the total costs of the fees for this period? I'm going to fill in the chart and then explain it to you. So, I filled out the chart and I said from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. it costs $3.50. From 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. it costs $3.50. From 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. it's $3.50. Then we start getting into this above 5 p.m. rate, which is $7 per hour. So 6 p.m. to 7 is 7. 7 p.m. to 8 is going to be 7. So I really should have this. 6 p.m. to 7. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., and 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, those are going to be the rates. Then, what we need to do is total it up. And you would add each of these. $3.50 plus $3.50 is going to be $7. And then I would skip over here. Plus 7 is 14. Plus another 7 is 21. So I come out to $24.50. I'm actually going to go back and check to make sure I did all of that right. And when I went back to check my math, it comes out A-OK. So again, learn from my error. Write the hour that it's including so that you don't include 8 as your hour. Big mistake on my part. Sorry about that, but learn from our mistakes. Okay, the table shows the charges for renting a room in a small gatherings. It's $150 for the first 4 hours. Every additional hour is $45. Miguel rents the room for 8 hours. How much does he pay for renting the room? Well, from hours 1 to 4, costs him $150 or $150. Then from 4 to 5, costs him $45. 5 to 6 is going to be another $45. 6 to 7 is going to be another $45. Then 7 to 8 is going to be another $45. You would then have to total it up, and I'm going to do that off to the side. And when I total it up over here, I got $330 total. Okay, so a train traveled at a speed of 90 miles per hour for 2 hours, then slowed down to 32 miles per hour for the next 30 minutes. Find the number of miles the train traveled. I'm going to quickly make a dirt pyramid, pause it, go from there. Okay, so I'm going to need 2 dirt pyramids for this, but it says a train moved at a speed of 90 miles per hour for 2 hours. So we know that it's going a rate of 90 miles per hour for a time of 2 hours. To get our distance, we would multiply 90 times 2. We get 180. That's for the first 2 hours. Here's where the trick comes in. It slowed down to 72 miles per hour for 30 minutes. But we got to keep these the same. Okay, this is hours. This is now minutes, which is going to totally mess us up. But we do know that 30 minutes, 30 out of 60 is really 1/2. So we know this is a half an hour. So we would multiply these together. Well, what's half of 72? It's going to be 72 divided by 2, which is 36. Now we know that it traveled 180 miles in the first 2 hours. We know that it traveled 36 miles the last half hour. We would then add them together. We get 216 miles total. Okay, I'm going to have to pause it quite a bit on this one, but it says calculate the average speed. So that's going to be the total distance. So you would add 80 or 180 plus 36 is 216. Divided by the total hours spent traveled. So it's 2.5. So it's 2 1/2. So you would have to divide 216 by 2.5. So I'm going to pause it right here. I'm going to show all the work off to the side, and then hopefully we'll have enough time. So I quickly did this and realized it's probably better that I show you a dirt pyramid. We're asking to see 216 miles in 2.5 hours. That means we know we have to divide 216 by 2 1/2. I did it over here. I did 216, 2.5, change to improper. So I got 216 divided by 5/2. Now we do keep, change, flip. So we get 216 over 1 times 2/5. I can't cross cancel. So I multiply straight across. 216 times 2 is 432 over 5. And when you reduce that down, 86 2/5. I'm going to quickly see if I can get this done. 432 divided by 5 goes in 8. We get 40. 32 goes in 6. Get 30. Get 2 left over, so it is 2/5. That is the answer. I hope this helps. Have a good night.